everyone, I'm McJourney, and I like anime.
I'm Ross Everett, and it's not my giant monster destroying a city. I'm running low on these.
Welcome to Anime Club! This week we watched Chobits.
Chobits! Which indeed we saw Chobits.
A little bit, we saw some bits.
I watch these when I work out at the gym, and no one warned me! I'm like, oh my god, like looking around making sure that nobody is seeing what's on my iPhone.
You made a bigger, weirder deal about it than people around would have ever noticed.
I'm sorry, when he's finger banging a robot and I'm exercising next to an old man in short shorts, like, what a life moment, am I wrong?
I was like, oh, he doesn't, yep, he does finger bang the robot.
Yeah, he goes in there. Well, enough, let's recap the show first. A guy that is 18 and just has no ability to cope with any kind of disappointment. Moves to the big city to attend a prep school, and there are these things called procoms. Persocoms. That's what they're called. They're like robot women, you know, the future. Think fembots, but more perverted. And he moves into this lovely apartment complex and then finds his own Persocom that is different than the rest, because instead of having software, it has a personality, or an ability. We're learning that it has an ability to have a personality. That's
a really good summary of like what the two episodes are about. I mean, it's a little over the top, obviously, like a lot of these animes tend to be. Chobits is kind of really popular in the US, much more popular in the US than it was in Japan. Because
I wonder why.
She's so cute though. She's almost like a Pokemon because she can only say her name.
But doesn't that make it worse? It's like, oh, look at this simple-minded robot. I'm gonna finger it. For those of you that haven't watched it yet and are interested in being really uncomfortable in a public situation, in order to turn on this Persocom, he's like searching for the buttons, he's like feeling weird about it, and then he's like, there's one place I haven't looked yet, and it's in her bee-bump. And then he goes in there, and like, it wasn't even like a quick like, gah! He like, slowly.
My favorite is he looks away.
Like, what? Like, I was like, my goodness, they are really taking their sweet time with
this.
And
I thought he was just gonna be like made to look like a pervert. Like she was gonna be like, ha ha, chee!
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, hello, welcome. Thank you for fingering my
It's like this moment, like, you sick piece of you. Oh, it worked. Okay, all right, good for you. That was awesome.
He's like really cute and innocent, and everything he does, she does. Like when he makes crazy movements, she's like,
Chi. Imagine she loves it, but at the same time, it's like he's like, oh, I can't wait to watch porn on this pet.
The cool thing about Chi is that at first we think she's broken. Like
yes.
she doesn't. She can only say her name. Every time they try and hook up other Persocoms to her,
not only is she broken,
them.
she breaks other Persocoms.
The cool thing is we actually find out in the second episode that there's this legend of the Chobits, and that there are Persocoms that are programmed to have these personalities of their own and act on their own, and we don't know if Chi is a Chobit or not.
No, and that's kind of where this series starts, and from a writing perspective, it's more of a serialized rather than an episodic series, meaning that each episode doesn't really stand alone. They kind of lead into each other, which I always have kind of an affinity for. It's giving the audience a little bit more credit, being like, you're going to be with us for the long run, rather than we just have to keep feeding you so that you'll come back and like a Monster of the Week type show. They definitely set this up really nicely. I thought that there was a lot of unnecessary exposition in the first episode, but in the second episode they really broke away from that very nicely, and they kind of got more into the characters. And Meg thinks that the landlord is secretly a Persocom, which I don't think so. I think I'd take that bet. I think she seems nice, but
she does. But the thing is, like we find out in the second episode that not all of the Persocoms have the ears that give them away. Because the blue-haired one, who has like the maid outfit in the second episode, she doesn't have Persocom ears that give her away.
That's true.
So I think the lady might be.
I don't know.
Also, I read some spoilers, not about that, so I don't know if I'm right on that or not. But there's some more lovey-dovey stuff later on in the season.
Of course, this guy has so many nosebleeds. Dexter would clean this place up. We watched 2 episodes of these to get a first impression of them. I watched the first one in English, and I watched the second one in Japanese with the English subtitles. And I'm starting to pick up like some Japanese words, which is super interesting.
Very cool.
Like, what do they say? OS to mean OS.
Okay.
And operating system or something.
CPU.
CPU to mean CPU. I'm really getting those.
Chobits is actually by Clamp, which is a 4-woman manga team So they're 4 women who make up Clamp. They drew the manga, and it also takes place. There are other animes that cross over into this universe. So Angelic Layer takes place in the same universe. And the cool thing is that although it's a little weird and out there, and it's definitely a seinen anime, they explore this idea of what humans and androids and how they should interact and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate in a really interesting way.
It's true. So what kind of anime was this?
So I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's definitely a seinen anime, which is something that targets, you know, the 18 to 30 kind of range.
Yes.
It's for boys, but I don't know, I thought it was so cute, and actually a lot of the Chobits fans I know are girls.
Yeah, I was about to say, this doesn't feel like it would be, like, while there is, like, a lot of, like, sexy stuff in there, it does feel less catered to men, and more to, actually, I'd say boys. Like, the people that just want to see the nudity. It's almost like a little pornographic at parts of it. But there's still, like, there's almost like a romantic thing. Chi is very cute. The little Persicom. Sumomo is also very, I felt like, female-oriented. Like, I was, when she did the tambourine dance, I was like, I don't know what to make of this. That was weird.
And I love that she gets scared, Kai. She, like, hides behind him. She's all scared of him. She's so cute. I love Sumomo. Like I said, Clamp is a 4-woman team, so they do have, like, the female perspective on the anime a little bit.
More women should write porn. I've always said it. Sign the petition below. Would you continue watching this?
Absolutely.
I won't. It made me. It was like interesting, and I liked looking at it as a case study. But I was just like, if I watched any more of this, like, I would start to feel uncomfortable.
So guys, that's it for what we thought of Chobits. Next week we're watching.
And if you guys want to join us, you can go to netflix.com/sourcefed, where you get a free month of instant streaming. Helps you out, helps out the show, and then you could type in and put your opinion by posting a video on YouTube with the hashtag SFN and the title of the anime we're watching, and then you could appear at the end of the show just like these people.
Chobits is an extremely perverted anime. Something that I was prepared for, but not prepared for the level at which they approached it. I imagined that it would be relatively difficult for new audiences to anime like Ross to approach this anime.
As the story goes on, we're also trying to unravel what the mystery of Chi is. But she also doesn't have any software, so he's having to manually teach her everything. He's going around teaching her how to put on clothes and take a bath, and he's emotionally retarded, and so all these things cause him to have a nosebleed because he wants to bang his robot.
I think the weirdest part was the fact that he's 18 and she looks like she's 12 maybe. Love that he mentions porn sites about 42 times. Overall, I liked the show. It was interesting.
This week what we watched it was an anime called Chobits, which, god damn, it was weird as fucking hell. It's like weird from the planet weird, from the galaxy weird, the universe that's weird.
It's kind of a time killer anime. Like, if you have a half an hour to kill, 2 hours to kill, and you want to watch something really funny, it is really funny.
It's a really sweet anime. There's lots of girliness and a lot of cutesy stuff, emotions happening.
So I watched Chobits. It's actually pretty decent. In America, Chobits would probably be R-rated. Look, I'm sure there's a commentary on technology in the modern age somewhere in here, but all I'm hearing was Avenue Q's "the internet is for porn."
I watched the first 2 episodes feeling incredibly uncomfortable. I've worked my way through the first 5 episodes now, and I think this is the first anime that I've watched which I don't intend to finish.
This is just an over-exaggerated love story, really. Although it's kind of weird because she's a robot and he's not. Obviously the journey that the main character and Chi take are, you know, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, Ross, I thought it was weird actually that they put the button in her vagina, because that's actually where my button is. Don't bleed again.
Sorry.
God.
Sorry.
It's in my vagina.
Oh!